Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick share about a really bad experience I had. My car had a oil light failure come on. The oil it came on. Stop driving your car immediately. Oil pump failed. So I went to my mechanic Reno, and he said, "Oh, I think it's the switch." So he put a new switch on, £50, and I went driving around. It was okay for about 3 weeks. Then it came back on again. So I went back to Reno, who had dropped something on his foot and was off to hospital. So I brought it to another mechanic I didn't know, out in Strawberry Fields. And he sat on it for a week, kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to fix it," but didn't. 2 weeks later, he said, "Oh, I can't fix this. I'm too busy with other things. Your turbo has gone because it didn't get oil. Your oil pump has probably hit the deck." So I went to see him, and I said, on the way there, I was thinking, well, if the oil pump hasn't worked, it's totaled the turbo. Surely I shouldn't drive it, because it could do even worse. Even I'm a blonde, but even I know that it's not getting any juice. Surely it might total other things. So I got there, said to him eye to eye, "Mate, should I maybe not drive this? I could get the AA to tow it somewhere else. I don't think I should drive it." And he said, "No, no, no." And I said, "No, I get the gut feeling I shouldn't." He's screaming at me, my stomach's churning, head saying, "Uh-uh." And he went, "No, no, 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 no. Come here, look. I'm the expert." Well, he didn't say that, but with the air of "I'm an expert." Opened the bonnet and said, "Look, here's a dipstick, plenty of oil. You'll be fine. You can drive it." So I drove it, and then 4 miles down the road, it said, "Engine warning, turn off immediately." I turned it off and rested for a few moments, tried the engine again, it wouldn't turn. Called the AA, he said, "You have totaled your engine, it didn't get any oil." At that point, then I rang around, found Ring Engineering in Southall. My car was towed there by the AA, by the very helpful and very generous AA. Towed there. I didn't have to go with them. And this was my mistake, because if I'd have, I have a very sharp sixth sense. Had I have gone in Ring Engineering in Southall, spoke to Sukh, who runs the place, I would have got a bad feeling, because I did get a bad feeling when I went to pick my car up. So just a tip to anybody, if you're thinking of leaving your car at this place and that place, go along, meet the people, not just the receptionist, meet who's going to be working on your car, make eye contact with them, and do you get a good feeling or a bad feeling? Do you think you're in good hands or bad hands? And I have found, as a woman, there's a lot of bad treatment. The treatment from the guy that told me it was okay to drive. I told him I was going to sue him. I rang back. I take the phone call, and I said, "You told me it was okay to drive." Now, an oil pump and the oil, they're not really connected, so you should have known that. How come you told me to drive it when my instincts were screaming not? I said, "You even persuaded me to drive it, mate, and you own a garage. It's your profession." And he admitted he did tell me to drive it. So I had this on tape. Approached him again and said, "I've got it on tape. You confess you did it. I thought you wouldn't." And other mechanics have said, "He won't admit that now. He'll say, 'No, I didn't tell you to drive.'" But he admitted it for my tape. And he went, "Oh, you take me illegally. You take me illegally." Now, this is not really the reaction you want from somebody. What they've done, they've been careless. They have given you wrong advice. They have persuaded you to do something. He actually owes me that 3,500 that I paid to get my £3,277 that I paid to get my car fixed. Did he fess it up and say, "I'm so sorry"? Well, hell no, hell no. And with these mechanics, they do suffer. I just want to remind them, if any of them is listening, they do suffer the laws of karma. You rip people off, you can't con people. It does come back at you. It all comes back eventually. Chickens come home to roost, and to inflict that much pain on people. People that have children, that they're dependent on their cars to run their lives. You know, to be so careless, it pretty much will rebound on your life in the same amount of pain as you dish out to others. And so I went to Ring Engineering, and I thought my bad time was over. I mean, surely I've had my bad experience now, and this is the time when it turns and I go to the good guys. And I did like Sukh, who runs the thing. He seemed quite charming, but again, I had the bad feeling in my gut. Now, had I have met him and not just let AA take it there on someone else's recommendation, I wouldn't have left it there. I felt something, so strong unease. And anyway, after 3 weeks of them saying every day, you can pick it up, you can pick it up. Oh, no, you can't pick it up. Eventually, 3 weeks later, I went to get my car. Again, I just had about the worst feeling in the world going down. He had quoted me 2,900, and I had already paid the 2,900. And when I got there, he presented me with a bill for another £377. And I said, what is this for? And he said, it's for a coolant box. Now, I looked at the invoice he waved in front of me, and it said oil filter on it. Oil filter, £377. I thought, well, you're saying coolant box. Why does that say oil filter? And an oil filter is only £10. So I thought, this is a scam receipt. This is dodgy. So I thought, well, as soon as I get home, I'm going to ring out these suppliers, and I'm going to find out why it says oil filter, £377. This doesn't make sense. There's something odd with that. So I thought, I'll do this when I get home. I handed over the money, the extra money, while again, all my senses are screaming, don't. But I got in a cab to get there. The cab had stunk. I was worried about COVID. I felt sick as a dog when I got out of the cab. I was there just with a child and just me. So I handed over the money all the time. The guy couldn't meet my eyes. I thought, I'm being scammed here. I just knew it. I felt it in my gut. But I thought, you know what? I'll get this money back. I'll get my car. I'll get this money back. I'll investigate you when I get back. And this absolutely dodgy receipt. So got back home, and the car, I thought to myself, I prayed around it. You know, and God says, you know, it says in the Bible, if someone steals from you, give them your coat. So I put that to it. I thought, right, he's rooked me out of this money. The receipt is dodgy. He's rooked me out of this money. And, but, you know, if someone steals from you, give them your coat. So I prayed around it and I forgave him. 2 weeks later, the car is kaput. It's coming out, engine faulty, do not drive. And so I turn off the car and I take it to my mechanic, and he says, yo, you've got to go back to these Ring Engineers in Southall. So I rang Sukh, and he said, oh, we're closing shop. I might be able to get you some help next week, but, you know, we're closing shop. I said to him, listen, mate, you rooked me out of some money. I'm very angry about that receipt. So I opened the paperwork that he gave me, and it wasn't in there. And I said, where is that receipt gone for that coolant box? And he said, oh, that's mine. I said, I want you to send me a copy of it. Didn't hear from him. I said, you need to help me. I know you're moving shop, but you need to help me about my car. At least tell my mechanic what have you done, and what possibly could have gone wrong. That it's, you know, you pay £3,300 and you have a car. What might you have done wrong? And what does Sukh of Ring Engineering in Southall decide to do? He decides to just ignore me, to ignore my mechanic, Reno. No respect there with other mechanics that are sweating in the heat and need help and advice to someone. What have you actually done? No, can't even be bothered to pick up a phone call, even though I say over and over again, I have a child, I need to drive him to the doctors, he has appointments, he has to go to his hospital appointments. Doesn't give a damn. And I am actually boiling. I am boiling in rage right now. It's kicked off my IBS in my gut, because of I've prayed around it. I have sat reading the Old Testament. I have tried to lose my anger for this man, but I am finding it absolutely impossible. So I'm asking everybody now if they can help me in some way, advise me in some way about what to do, because I'm actually struggling here. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to forgive this man. I have gone to a journalist I know, James Hanning, the ex-editor of the Independent on Sunday. He rang him, and he has left his. Other people, they hear journalists, they worry, don't they? Reputation, whatever. They would ring back somebody posh, middle class, and somebody who's not going to be cross. But no, still not. Still doesn't give a shit about anybody and about suffering. I am absolutely boiling with anger. I have to now find a shitload of money, thousands of money, which I haven't got, to pay to have another engine. And I don't know how to sit in a position of forgiveness about this. I don't know, my son is suffering, and anybody harms my child, my blood boils like a kettle boiling, right at the tipping point of boiling. So I am beyond angry. So I'm asking you advice, please comment below. Could be spiritual advice for me, what to do for me to lose my anger, because my anger's gone straight into my IBS, gone straight into my stomach, and it is churning. I am actually rolling around in pain. And it's down to this guy. Whenever I try not to think about it, but then when I think about him, it sort of kicks off this agony in my gut, and I don't know how to do it, how to be spiritual, how to forgive and say it's okay, think of it this way, think of it that way. So I really recommend guidance, or if it's spiritual guidance, or anybody that might live in Southall, they might know this guy and might know Ring Engineering or Sukh, their engine remanufacturers that could, maybe contact them and say, please do the decent thing and, either ring James Hanning or ring the mechanic and help them out here. I'm guessing, I can only guess, that the shutting down is the, we're battening down doors. It seems like I get treatment like this. I remember when I went to have a procedure at the King Edward Hospital many years ago, and my small son came with me. I was getting the x-ray, paying for it privately, for my stomach again. And so when I went in there, they span my son on a chair. He went flying off and cracked his skull. He had bleeding from the forehead, rushed to hospital. Now, I took legal action against them, as you do. And they had said to me, oh, we want to buy your son something. We're so sorry it happened. So it was, I thought, okay, I won't sue. I'll deal with it nicely. And they actually batten their doors down. They do the no speak thing, like in a self-protective, we don't give a shit about your kid. We don't give a shit about your car engine. We're protecting ourselves. And it is so godless. It is so revolting. It really is. It's so absolutely putrid. I did get legal action against the King Edward Hospital, and turns out they said no. Christine Roberts didn't spin him. She said she didn't. Now I tracked down. She then left. So I tracked her down. She was working somewhere else, and I got her on tape. And I said, look, admit what you did to my son. I said, I'm not after calling the police on you or anything like that. I just think my son should be given compensation. He had headaches for years after. She said, I did push him. She said, I'm so sorry. He kept saying, push me on the spinny chair, push me faster. And she goes, I really span him really fast. And I was horrified when he came off. And then I gave that back to my lawyer, and my lawyer said, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. And he wouldn't use it. So you're not allowed to use it. You're not allowed to take people like that. I mean, is that fair? I don't know. So King Edward, got away with it. But, this is, I'm going to sue Ring Engineering in Southall for the stress, for everything, for a new engine. But, I don't feel good about that. I don't, I'm going to get you. Because they're making me then enter into a hate fest. I've got to then spend the next couple of months going, hate you, do you know what I mean? It's like, so why do people have to be like this? The world's ugly enough. You've got COVID, you've got people dying, you've got people in pain, you've got people suffering, and still, people treat each other in cold, nasty ways. If you're going to do a job for somebody, do it. Be honest. Don't think, oh, I want money. I want money to buy my wife a lovely dress. I'm going to go on holiday. I want me. Think of other people, because you know what? When you think of other people, you get blessings. You get a lot from spirit once you help other people. I mean, I was talking to James Hanning yesterday, this journalist. His daughter is paralysed. She had a fall. She's paralysed, yet still standing beside her in the hospital bed. He said, I'll ring that mechanic and sort it out for you. And this mechanic didn't even, when somebody takes the time standing by their daughter's bedside when they're paralysed, to ring this individual and say, please, can you tell me what you've done wrong? And this individual doesn't even return their call when they know about it. Because I emailed him, I said, this individual, his daughter, is sick and he's taken time away from her to ring you and you don't even return the call. Absolutely disgusted, mate. So I'm telling you, anybody wants to go to Ring Engineering in Southall, be prepared for the rough ride. That's all I've got to say. I'm just boiling. Thank you for listening.